Flora Proactive. No other food lowers cholesterol more.
Surviving a stroke requires rapid treatment, absolute compliance from the patient, as well as great health. And today we meet up with Charlene Murray, who suffered a stroke at just the age of 32. But she's using her experience to help other survivors.
In March 2006, Charlene Murray suffered a stroke at the age of just 32. She was a single working mom and ended up being hospitalized for 8 weeks, and 2 years later suffered another attack similar to a stroke.
Charlene, you suffered a stroke as well as a trans-ischemic attack. How did this all happen?
The day before I had my stroke, I just had a terrible headache. The headache carried on for the duration of the day and into the night. And the following day I woke up and my face had sort of dropped to the bottom.
Charlene was rushed to hospital where doctors discovered a hole in her heart, as well as an antithrombin 3 deficiency, which led to the stroke. Antithrombin 3 inhibits the formation of blood clots, so this rare deficiency increases the risk of strokes. We spoke to Dr. Tshidi Gule to learn more about how strokes occur and its risk factors.
So, Doc, what exactly is a stroke, and more importantly, how does it occur?
A stroke in a nutshell is an interruption to the blood flow going to the brain. And the issue with interruption of blood flow is that obviously if any of your organ is deprived of oxygen, the cells of that organ die, and there are certain symptoms to signal it.
So tell us, what are the risk factors that lead up to a stroke?
The first interesting one is age. So people older than 55 unfortunately have an increased chance of having stroke. Secondly, men have more strokes than women. However, what is important to note is that women tend to die more from strokes than men. The third thing that's very critical to mention here is what we call lifestyle-related conditions.
Hypertension, diabetes, smoking and obesity are some of the lifestyle risk factors which increase the chance of a stroke, and healthy living can reduce the risk dramatically.
So, Doc, now that you've scared all of our viewers over the age of 55, what advice can you give all of our viewers to reduce their risk of a stroke?
I think the most important thing for people to be aware of is that as much as there are factors like age affecting your chance of having a stroke, no one is immune if you're living badly. You need to attend to your risk factors such as high blood pressure, diabetes, smoking, obesity as a matter of urgency, because those are the guys that accelerate, or the risk of having a stroke is much more severe than the other factors. Age is not something you can control, but there's certainly a lot you can do with the factors you can control and reverse.
Some of the symptoms of a stroke include facial paralysis, numbness, disorientation and slurring speech. Getting treatment quickly can prevent long-term damage.
What is your road to recovery and rehabilitation?
I cried as I was wheeled into the rehab centre, and once I reached where I was going to be staying, I then I sort of was sitting on the bed, and I said to the one sister, I said to her, you know what, I will be walking. In about 2 weeks, hard work, blood, sweat and tears, but nonetheless I sort of started walking a little bit in 2 weeks with a little Zimmer frame and a dragging leg, just to sort of give my daughter some kind of hope that mommy will be able to walk again, and she will be able to just sort of, how can I say, be semi-normal.
Charlene realized that there were other patients in the same situation and partnered with another stroke survivor to start an organization which offers help.
Charlene, I listened to your story, and it's a typical case of courage under fire. The odds were up against you and you've come out stronger for it. But throughout your journey, what have you learned personally?
You must appreciate life to the fullest. Do not take life for granted. Do not take anything for granted, because your life can change within 24 hours. My life changed. So live life, love life, and do not take your friends or family for granted.
Charlene, through your own experience, you've gone on to help others that have suffered strokes. How are you helping them?
The Stroke Survivors Foundation was basically founded to assist stroke survivors post-stroke with support, to facilitate them with support groups around the country, and help and care for those who suffer stroke.
Of the 240 people that will be affected by stroke today in South Africa, over a quarter won't survive. So don't let you and your loved ones become a statistic. Act fast, spot the signs early, and reduce the risk of stroke today.
Flora Pro Active. No other food lowers cholesterol more.